On this Mario Day special episode, we won't be talking about Mario.
We will, however, be talking about Mario's newest Smash Brother rivals.
Plus, what games makes us feel comfy and cozy.
All Systems Go is blasting off again! Right now. Hello, and welcome to another episode of All Systems Go, the show that climbed a mountain to find the wise old man at the top, but only found Obi-Wan Kenobi telling us it's over because he has the high ground. I'm Ian Gaga DeVito Baby.
And I'm Tony, purist of the Alliance. Let's get into the news like a delicious pudding. Watch Tom and Jerry on HBO this weekend? You might have been surprised to find the Justice League instead. Instead of the cat and mouse, the long-awaited Snyder Cut was accidentally uploaded on the streaming service on Saturday. Of course, it didn't take long for HBO to notice the slip-up and killed the streams of the leaked movie within minutes. The Snyder Cut sees an official release March 17th. Patience has its sweet rewards sometimes.
Cowabunga, dude! Earlier today, publisher Emu, who made Streets of Rage 4 and Tribute Games, who helped with the Scott Pilgrim the Movie, the game, announced that they are working on a brand new Ninja Turtles game. The game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, is a totally bodacious side-scrolling beat-em-up that takes inspiration from the original arcade games. Unfortunately, there is currently no word on a release date. Bummer, dude.
The CW has mixed up sugar, spice, and everything nice with the powerful Chemical X to create their own live-action Powerpuff Girls. Yes, you heard me right. The CW is in the works of making a live-action Powerpuff Girls TV show. And they already have the girls casted. Chloe Bennet as Blossom, Dove Cameron as Buttercup, and Yana Peralt as Bubbles. There's no release date as of yet, but we can't wait to see more.
It's been a long 9 years, but the wait is over. Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, Thrice Upon a Time, has finally been released. The film, fourth in a series of reboots for Neon Genesis, has been in purgatory since 2012. After about 200 delays, a pandemic, and a partridge in a pear tree, the movie is playing in Japanese theaters. A US release date hasn't been confirmed yet, but our ears are out. We've been waiting too long to miss it now. Also, earlier this week, Microsoft officially completed the $7.5 billion acquisition of ZeniMax Media, which is the parent company of Bethesda Studios. Many of Bethesda's sub-studios behind games like Doom and Fallout may see releases exclusive to Xbox and PC with this acquisition. Xbox brings its total count of first-party games studios to 23 compared to Sony's 13. Joining us now from the nuclear fallout of the future, Wasteland Dan gives us his perspective on the acquisition.
After 6 long months of patiently waiting and playing Rad Roach Jangle all by myself, I am officially an exclusive member of the Microsoft Clubhouse! 23 studios. It's like a party every day. And it's crazy to think, now that I'm under just one roof, my games may be bug-free. And I may actually get to interact with the players without clipping through walls or striking an awkward T-pose mid-conversation. It's embarrassing. For $7.5 billion, dreams really can come true. I gotta go find Doom Guy and tell him the good news. Back to you, folks.
Hey, have a Nuka-Cola on me, buddy. Coming up after the break, Maya comes down hard on Coming to America.
And Corey and I vibe with Pyra and Mythra. ASG will be right back.
Eddie Murphy's newest movie, Coming to America, just hit Amazon Prime, and our good friend Maya watched it for us. Is the movie a comedic masterpiece or a royal flop? Let's find out.
Hi everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood editor and snarker Maya. So I watched Coming to America, the 33-year-later sequel to Eddie Murphy's classic Coming to America. Listen, I don't assume that any sequel is going to be bad just because it's a sequel. If anything, I expected this movie to be mediocre at worst. I somehow was still gravely disappointed. The whole premise of Coming to America is that Prince, now King Akeem, the main character of the first movie, unwittingly sired an heir in Queens after worst aid ever Semi convinced a random woman named Mary to drug him and spend the night. This movie began filming in 2019! Ignoring everything wrong with that, Coming to America's plot is in general a mess. Akeem seems to have forgotten everything he learned in the first movie, plus what he already knew. You're telling me that Akeem, the man who literally went to Queens, New York because he found the idea of a wife raised to only please him disturbing, became king and just instantly became as misogynistic as his father, but subtler, and his no-nonsense wife never called him out on this? Hold on a second. Why do we have to do this? The pacing's a nightmare. Characters don't act like actual human beings, even by comedy standards, and this movie occasionally comes across as one of those girl power films that fails at being empowering at all. The original film wasn't exactly subtle, but this movie literally has Akeem plan to hand over his entire kingdom to a son he just learned existed until the last 10 minutes when he decides, you know, maybe my daughter who's literally studied politics her whole life should be next in line. And that kind of generic plot conclusion sums up the whole movie. Generic misogyny, overhearing and misunderstanding a conversation, awkward forced sibling rivalry. The entire movie is made up of plot cliches, and if the whole thing was a parody, it'd be fun. But it's not a parody! And that's a shame. With the comedic star power in this movie and the fun visual designs, this movie should have been fun. But even the jokes they intentionally make fall flat. When any other genre fails at what it's trying to do, it becomes a comedy, but when a comedy fails, it's just sad. It's not the worst film I've ever seen, but I wouldn't recommend Coming to America to anyone for any reason. So I'm gonna have to give it a 1.5 out of 5.
Corey and I had the privilege of playing the new Smash Bros. DLC characters Pyra and Mythra. Here's what we had to say about the Smash's new duo. Alright, hey, we just got finished playing the new Smash character Pyra and Mythra. Corey, what do you have to say about it so far?
They're really fun. I'm glad they brought back another like Zelda Sheik style character. Like they transform into each other, but unlike Zelda and Sheik who are just so different that you didn't use them as much together. These ones are basically the same character, just one stronger, one faster. That way you can just like easily switch between them without having to think about it.
They are a deadly dynamic duo. Well, one thing I realized, because I tried doing it during our gameplay, is that I tried, I'm just going to play Pyra. No. We were both playing Pyra and Mythra, and it's like you kept like switching to Mythra, like getting those quick combo attacks.
Yeah, Pyra's a bit too slow to keep up with it for the whole game. But that's why you have Mythra, who's a little bit weaker but can just fast.
You're actually supposed to utilize both of them.
You certainly can just play as one. Ganondorf is his own character and he's slow as heck, boy. But like, they're really made for the interchange.
I love the new moves though. One of my favorite moves that Pyra has is that spinning blade attack where she throws her sword at you. It does a lot of damage, but one thing I realized that I found out the hard way is that when you throw the sword, you're vulnerable because you can't attack afterwards. And so then you have somebody like Corey over here slamming me to the ground.
I know, what a concept. You don't have your sword anymore, so you can't use your sword.
I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
I really liked Mythra's side special where she does all of her like teleporty sweepy attacks. Because it's like, it doesn't do too much damage, but it's a wide range and it starts really quickly, so you can just catch them off guard immediately.
Well, one really fun thing I'm excited about is just to see the different dynamics between all the other characters, especially with my main Little Mac. I think Little Mac's going to have a hard time, especially with Mythra. He's going to have a hard time dealing with that with her fast attacks.
It doesn't take much, but Pyra could probably one-shot Jigglypuff or Pichu with any move.
Other than that, any last points you want to make about Pyra and Mythra?
They vibin'.
They do vibe, and I'm excited to see, especially when offline tournaments come back, I'm excited to see like what they can do. Other than that, yeah, that's Pyra and Mythra for you. If you haven't bought the Smash DLC with Pyra and Mythra, or just Smash DLC Season 2 pass. What are you waiting for? Go buy it!
It's right there.
It's there.
It's not like it's hard.
Spend your money. You don't need it. Did you watch WandaVision yet?
No?
Then get out of here! When we come back, Coy's telling us all about what the show means for the Young Avengers in the MCU.
But he's really Scarlet Witch and Vision's son. Kind of. More on that later. Forgot about that, didn't you? I didn't. And later always comes to call. Massive spoiler warning ahead. I will be talking about WandaVision, everything up to and including the finale. So if you haven't caught up yet, bro, what the heck? This is your last chance to run away before I talk about it. Anyway, we've all seen Billy and Tommy now. Last we see them, they're 10 years old and not exactly real. Or are they? Maybe. Tommy showed off his super speed and Billy was a little magic man, just like Mom and Uncle Pietro. This is already where we deviate from the comics. On page, Billy and Tommy Maximoff were really magical constructions Wanda made using 2 pieces of Mephisto's soul. They'd only been around for 3 years before Mephisto came back for his soul, and never really showed any powers. On screen, they're not related to Mephisto, that we know of at least. They were constructed inside the Hex like Vision, so they seem to have just been made of chaos magic, basically. Once Wanda closed the Hex, they were gone. For now. The post-credits scene showed Wanda studying the Darkhold. While reading, she hears Billy and Tommy's voices calling out for help and jumps into action. I think it's safe to say this is where we get to Multiverse of Madness. In the comics, after the Mephisto incident, Billy and Tommy were reincarnated to new families. Billy Kaplan was the first son of 3 born to a Reformed Jewish couple, which also makes the codename Wiccan even funnier. And Tommy Shepard was the only child of a now divorced couple and is also a delinquent who spent many a time in juvie. Wiccan was one of the founding members of the Young Avengers in 2005, alongside Iron Lad, Hulkling, and Patriot, while Tommy, codenamed Speed, was recruited in Young Avengers issue 10. Upon meeting, the two did immediately notice how similar they looked. This led Wiccan to believe that he and Tommy may be the souls of Wanda's twins transposed into new bodies. Following the Civil War, the two decided to search for Wanda, who, after remembering her twin sons, had gone insane, killed some Avengers, and disappeared in Avengers Disassembled. While they didn't find her the first time, they did try again and found her with Doctor Doom. In contrast, it seems like Wanda may be the one finding Billy and Tommy in the MCU. She's confirmed to appear in Multiverse, and given the urgency of the post-credit scene for WandaVision's finale, I think she'll be working hard to find her boys. One thing to note, though, the boys' age. Wanda may somehow be the cause of the multiverse, or uses the multiverse to find them. All the Young Avengers were around 16 when they first joined, so reincarnation may not work like it did in the comics, given that Stature right now is 16 in the MCU. However, it's possible Tommy Shepard now is 16 in the MCU. However, it's possible that Billy Kaplan and Tommy Shepard will be brought into the MCU from the multiverse. This would explain the opening of the multiverse and why Doctor Strange has to fight, presumably, Nightmare and possibly the rest of the Fear Lords. It is of note, though, that Scott Derrickson, who directed the first Doctor Strange film, was the one to mention wanting Nightmare, but he has since stepped down with Scott Raimi taking over. As such, we might not be seeing Nightmare specifically. They'll likely continue with Baron Mordo's storyline, plus with Wanda and the Darkhold in play, the potential is there for Chthon. Wanda could also just be there so that Doctor Strange can teach her how to use her magic. This could lead to, instead of Kaplan and Shepard, getting Billy and Tommy Maximoff back if Wanda is able to recreate them without the Hex. Almost certainly, if she can use that kind of power, we'll see other malevolent forces coming for her. That could lead to the main conflict in Doctor Strange 2. Once again, these malevolent forces could include Chthon. I think that's an interesting idea. It would explain the Darkhold's history and introduce the Elder Gods. They're basically the Lovecraftian horrors of Marvel, so they're perfect for multiverse's horror aesthetic. Plus, they'd be a way to introduce us to the Demiurge, being his first offspring. Demiurge is basically the living embodiment of all life on Earth, and is also Billy, kind of. Anyway, no matter who Doctor Strange has to fight, it looks like we're being pulled towards the Young Avengers. The lineup, as mentioned before, started with Iron Lad, Patriot, Hulkling, and Wiccan, though at the time Wiccan was called as Guardian. Then they very quickly were joined by Kate Bishop's stature and speed, as well as a complicated new version of Vision named Jonas. Some of these may sound familiar, and they should. Not only are the Young Avengers just great overall, many of them are also slated to be introduced into the MCU soon. Cassie Lang is already an Ant-Man, and given her recast between Endgame and Quantumania, they may be on track to give her powers as Thatcher. King the Conqueror is also supposed to be in Quantumania, suggesting Iron Lad's arrival. Kate Bishop is one of the main characters for the Hawkeye show and Clint's protege. Eli Bradley is rumored to be part of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and America Chavez is also set to be introduced in Multiverse of Madness. She wasn't a Young Avengers until 2013 in Volume 2, but that doesn't mean they can't throw her in there now. She could also mean we'd see the Teen Brigade, but I really doubt that. Not to mention that Miss America's whole thing is the star-shaped portals that she can use to travel through the multiverse, so it's only natural that she'll be in Multiverse of Madness of all of them. But back to the twins. All things considered, we need a way to bring them back already as teens. Given both Miss America and Wanda appearing in Multiverse of Madness, I could see maybe full-fledged Wiccan and Hulkling showing up with Miss America from another universe. TLDR, I think Billy and Tommy are coming back soon, likely from another multiverse, either via overpowered Chaos Witch Mama, or alongside a 6-foot-tall Latina lesbian, and I love both options.
Welcome back to the show. Next we explode a huge... You doing alright, man?
I'm so high-strung these days, I need to relax somehow.
Oh, well, I happen to have 5 videos suggesting comfort games that could help you.
Do doctors want me to know?
No, they'll actually hate that you know.
Show me!
If I had to choose a true comfort game, it would probably be Life is Strange. Something about that game just draws me towards it when I'm feeling low, depressed, and just in need of some comfort. Maybe it's because I relate most to Kate Marsh. Yes, I'm okay, don't call anyone. Anyways, it is such a nostalgic game for me, and probably others, as it brings me back to a time in 8th and 9th grade where all I cared about was if Max and Warren were ever going to get together. P.S. If you ship Chloe and Max, we can have a one-on-one talk after this video. Anyway, as I was saying, this game is so extremely important to me, and I just fall in love with it every time. There's always things I didn't notice before. Maybe I finally snapped that picture I kept missing every playthrough, and I felt way too stubborn to look up the walkthrough on how to find it. Basically, if you ever see me playing Life is Strange, just know I am not okay. I just need some comfort in my life. Have a good night, everyone.
My comfort game is Red Dead Redemption 2. This game is amazing. I love it so much. The story is incredible. The online is good. I mean, even once you beat the story and don't want to play online, there's just so much game here. It's got some of the best gunplay of any video game, and their Western Wild West guns, so cool. See, I love Westerns, as shown by my Clint Eastwood poster. I love Westerns. I wish I could be a cowboy. And this game lets me be a cowboy. I mean, it's perfect. You get to ride horses, get to shoot people. I mean, it for the amount of just graphic violence, it's calming to play. It's so good. I love it.
After a hard day's work, when I'm looking for comfort, I like to plop myself down on a bed of broken glass and rocks and relax with a good old-fashioned game of Overwatch on Mayhem mode. The hectic nature of the game brings me some type of catharsis as I bounce around with bombs and mines as Junkrat, or when I'm whipping my chain back and forth and healing homies with Brigitte, or tanking people around with Orisa. Not to say that other modes on Overwatch aren't fun. Capture the Flag and Deathmatch are standards that I play. Mystery Heroes is always fun to play with a character that I don't really play with that much. However, when it comes down to it, nothing brings me to Zen faster than the beautiful and orchestral mayhem of this mode. And this opinion is not really a popular one. I know there's a lot of hatred for Mayhem mode, but I love it. And I'm also a Junkrat main and people hate him too, so whatever, come at me. After a hard day's work, when I boot up my Xbox and I see that the glorious Mayhem mode is an option in the arcade, man, My night just got a whole lot better. Have a good day.
Hello, I'm Darian, former ASG star, former ASG participant, and I'm here to tell you all about my comfort game. That's right, it's Call of Duty. I'm glad you can read. I came of age in an era when Call of Duty was the only true measure of your self-worth. You simply could not be anyone in middle school if you never got a tactical nuke in Modern Warfare 2. I never got a tactical nuke in Modern Warfare 2. Maybe that's why my life is... And heavily playing games like Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2 online in their heyday made me the man I am today. And even now, I still play Call of Duty pretty frequently, because sometimes, when life gets you down, the best solution is, of course, murder. Virtual murder, that is. Call of Duty is the video game equivalent of mac and cheese. It's always been there, it probably always will be there, and it makes you feel good when you eat it. That's right, you have to eat the Call of Duty. Do it, coward.
I feel so comfortable now. Do you feel comfortable?
Like a living, breathing Tempur-Pedic mattress has embodied my entire being.
Yes. Be sure to join us next week, Wednesday at 9, for another chapter in the ASG anthology. I'm so comfy right now.
And be sure to check us out on YouTube for this episode and more unseen ASG goodness.
And don't ignore our social media channels. When you look back in life, you don't want to regret missing out on them. So comfy.
Have a good night, everybody. All systems going to bed. Well, it finally happened. After many seasons of trying, the producers are finally letting Kyle do a wrestling video for the show. Can Kyle convince all of us that wrestling is cool, or will this be the last wrestling video All Systems Go ever has?
Let's take a look at Kyle's reaction to the exploding deathmatch from AEW's Revolution.
Killer.
All your wrestling needs with Kyle
Deathmatch review!
Hello everyone, I just wanted to let everyone know that what you were about to watch is my reviews of an exploding barbed wire deathmatch from AEW Revolution. Everyone in this video is a trained professional and I'm just giving my reactions, so there is some blood, there is some violence, but they are all trained, so just take it away me. Okay, main event time. Main event time, Moxley coming out looking like an absolute crazy, they have a CDC there. Oh, jeez, this is gonna be a shoot show. Alright, here's Kenny Omega. This... I'd be the greatest wrestler in the world. Only in wrestling can you, like, commit murder and get away with it. Oh, God! He killed him! He's dead! He's dead. That's, yeah, they just killed a man. Oh, that looks gnarly. Oh, jeez, he's covered in his own blood already. Is it caught in his hair? It's caught in his neck. he's dead. Holy. I have no words for what I just saw. Oh my god. This is amazing. Oh, great. Interference! Here we go, 3-on-1 now. Just gonna beat the hell out of him with the baseball bat. Oh. Uh-oh. He's got a... Oh. Oh my god! The baseball bat exploded. What the f... He's dead. No way. Oh. Oh. Unbelievable match.